to just do some research on astrophilosophy and astrotheology because they're innately connected and intertwined with ancient theology or Prisca.
With eschatology and what?
Not eschatology, sorry, but with ancient theology, Prisca, right? There's an interconnectedness between it and astrotheology and astrophilosophy as well. It's really like shockingly, um, bro. I don't even know how to describe it. Like I've been reading upon this stuff for the last couple of weeks, and my mind is thoroughly blown. There's a lot of stuff from understanding the true like etymology of the names that you see in any scripture, right? To what it represents and how ancients used to understand and depict these things, right? And for what they were used, it's just insane. It's truly insane.
Nice. That's cool, man.
If
So
you
there's
if you have any if you have any like questions about books or research material on almost any subject, you can always DM me. It's not going to be the stuff that I have is not usually stuff that people look into, and the books you can't just easily find them anymore. So gladly DM me if you want, bro.
all right. Well, thank you. I'm going to add you here.
I wish I could find somebody that knows their stuff about electromagnetism and toroidal fields, because I have some books that are just a tad bit over my head. I don't have the time to look at it and do research, and I just want to give it to somebody so they can actually do something useful with it.
Oh, that would not be me. I'm but a simple carpenter.
Yeah.
I mean, I am. Yeah, I am a carpenter. I'm a business owner, but uh, I'm self-educated in quite a few areas, and it's it's funny when you tell people that and they're like, oh, so this guy just thinks he knows stuff. Well, you can learn the same things in a book if you're taking a class or not taking a class.
That is true. That is true. A lot of people are also just lazy. They don't actually want to spend the time to research and learn by themselves, right? They're, but that's not their fault. That's also the schooling system's fault. I have more trust and respect for people like you who are self-learned than actually having a diploma, because I know you've done trial and error multiple times until you got it right, without and not just reading information and repeating it like a parrot. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'm quite knowledgeable on a lot of things, but I had a chance to go to college when I was 19, and I was too busy, or 20, or 19, 20, or yeah, somewhere around there. And I wanted to have a girlfriend full time, work full time, party full time, and go to school full time. And school was the thing that I didn't do. I didn't get to.
Yep. Prices.
That's right.
1920, bro. Man, damn, you can be like my grandfather. I have respect for you, man. Do not know that.
Yeah, I just turned 40. I actually am a grandpa, but that's because I have a 27-year-old stepson.
Well, you're not that old then. What, if you've turned 40, right?
Yeah, I just turned 40 this year.
Oh, I thought you were older, man. I thought you were way older. My bad. You're 10 years older than me. Didn't mean
Yeah,
to make you too old.
no worries, man. No worries. A lot of people call me Papa Trav. um, but no, I've learned a lot about apologetics, for one, and man, for the last 10 years, that was like 10 years ago where I was into that, and then when I realized the Earth was flat 10 years ago, um, it's pretty much just been all flat Earth and different philosophies and different outlooks on things. So like for example, like one interesting thing that I haven't done too much research into, but it's intriguing is and they were talking about water earlier, and water is like very understudied, and there's actually a fourth phase of water that's been discovered. It's called the exclusion zone, and it's pretty fascinating. I'd butcher it if I tried to explain it right now, but anybody ever heard of that?
I was about to ask, what is the exclusion zone?
Yeah, it's like a separation or a layer or something of and I don't know. I just freaking smoked a bowl. I'm sorry, but it's really neat. Let me get back to you on that. I'll DM you something on it here.
No worries,
But
man. You good?
there's three phases of water. Well, there's actually four. Um, so yeah, I was wanting to. There's some pretty hefty claims that were made, so I'm wanting to see the scientific backing on it. Um, but yeah, really a lot of just like our natural world. It's been very intriguing. I feel like felt like a child waking up when I realized the Earth was flat. Right? You just like, oh my gosh. So if this is true, then what the heck? What else don't I know?
Yep, that I understand completely. I love saying that fantasy is reality and reality is fantasy nowadays. And that's what I was saying after learning, like understanding that the Earth is actually geocentric, non-rotating, and stationary. That we are divinely created and are unique and powerful.
Absolutely, yeah, we are, and that's I've studied on some genetics as well, and yeah, it's it's amazing, man. DNA, the language is only brought
Yep.
about by an intelligent agent. Therefore, there must be an intelligent agent. Not only is there language and code, but we can recognize that there is.
hmm Let me ask
So,
you, how familiar are you with the periodic system of elements?
I haven't that's something I haven't refamiliarized myself on since my or in my adulthood.
hmm
And I remember a bit of it from when I was in science class. We had a chart on the board, so I'd always look at it and study it. But why do you ask?
Because I recently I was in one of my zones just going through stuff, right? And I pull up by accident just the entire sheet that I had on underneath some paperwork of the periodic system elements kind of just flew under my face. And I was like, started staring at it and just looking through all the elements. Are you on your computer right now by any chance? Can you pull up the periodic system?
I cannot at the moment here. I'm being juvenile and playing a video game.
No, no worries. It's all good. When you have the time, then I want you to look up iodine. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
iodine's awesome, dude.
it, it, no, Broden. Um, so the symbol for it is I, right? And you have another element which is, and I'm gonna butcher this. No, stop doing that. It is americium. I think that's how you pronounce it. Americium, Americum, something like that, right? The initials are AM in the periodic system. If you look at the top right, I believe it's the atomic weight of the two elements, and you add them up together, you actually get 369. And not only that, but iodine and americium, it's I am. It's quite literally I am, right? That is I
Really?
am that I am. And I just find that just insanely mind blowing.
Yeah, yeah. I can appreciate that definitely. I am that I am.
It took me probably up until last year or so, maybe a bit further than that, a year and a half or so, to actually realize what I am means, right? Um, I used to think like that's a stupid answer and doesn't make sense. But the more you get into like psychology, philosophy, and all of these things, right? You start understanding. Wait a second, I'm not my name, my hobbies, my talents, all of these things, even my body, right? They're not me. They're all attributes of me. They belong to me, right? You don't say you say my brain is clogged or foggy, right? You don't say I am clogged or foggy. Well, why is that the case? Well, because you are that which is observing and experiencing everything through the body, but you're not the body, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. The body's just a vessel.
yep. And so that's where the whole I am that I am thing really started to like, okay, cool, interesting. And I would, prior to that, always get frustrated, angry, and just in generally pissed off at people for being, you know, retards. Pardon my French. But then I realized, wait a second, if I'm calling this person X, let's say Clark, right now I'm going to use you for example, dumb and stupid, right? I'm calling myself that because me and him are the same. Just the vessel is different. Why would I belittle or hurt myself? Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've heard that as far as like your wife, your husband, if you talk bad about them, you're talking bad about yourself essentially. But I mean, there are people that are dumb though, dude.
Well, yes, right, but
Yeah.
you come from a like I'm at a point where I can't necessarily like judge people for being dumb or stupid or doing bad shit because I understand it's a process, right? We all have our own individual paths. We're all trying to get to Laugh Tale at the end of the grand line. We're just going for different paths and different islands, right, with different speeds and obstacles. So it is what it is. Everybody is a reflection, and everything is a reflection of you. At the end of the day, God created everything and is everything. After all, He's the unseeable, right? Everything that is seen is created by that which is unseen. You can't see your soul.
Yep.
And Christ says, I'm going to probably, I might butcher this slightly, but He says something along the lines of, God is within me and I am within God, right? That also, and I believe He says that I am within you and you are within me, right? It's not necessarily about the one person being a prophet and knowing what God is. It's about one person knowing that, just knowing, right, and being, and telling everybody else, yo, wake up, stop all this BS stuff. The more you hurt others, the more you're hurting yourself.
So you said now you're more on like the ancient what, God believer
Um,
now or something.
well, you can call me. So I don't really like use labels, but I guess you can call me like a dualist, gnostic, right? But then,
Oh, not
yes, or like esoteric, right? Hermeticist, whatever. For me, it's all an umbrella term for the same thing of esotericism. Um, but in essence, it's not like, yes, we live in a dual world. We have the physical and non-physical. Okay, that's true. We have masculine and feminine, positive and negative. All of those things are true. But it's also, the duality comes from the oneness, right? And it's about rekindling or yeah, rekindling and combining those two energies together properly so that you can be whole again. Even if you look at like, I don't know, the word Yeshua, right, in Hebrew, Yahavahashi, the pronunciation of it. You can take the characters of the word Yeshua in Hebrew, and you can form the image of a human man with just Yod He Vav He without the she aspect. The she kind of resembles like a fire, if you will, and that part you put in the center of that human form that is created, and that's the soul. Within what is it called? Islam, or yeah, Islam. You have the same thing, just slightly different. It's the word Allah. Arm, leg, arm, head. I am you and you are, I am that I am. God is within me, I am within you. You know, it's a reoccurring thing. You can always find this amongst many other things.
yeah. No, that's the first I'm hearing of me and you. God and me and God, but me and you. I don't.
Well,
Yeah, I don't ever recall hearing that. Kind of sounds like.
I'm paraphrasing now a bit, right? With what I said before, that God is within me, like what Christ said, right? God is within me and I'm with God, so on and so forth. And that's what I'm referring to, right? Um,
Yeah, that's
like,
Christ. Yeah, that's Christ that said that. Yeah, I'm
so
in the
that's what I
Father.
was.
The Father's in me. Yeah, yeah.
And he also, like Christ, if you just read like the Bible and just read like the verses that he says with his own words, you have to start questioning things. Ignore everything else. Just look at the stuff that he said. He says you can do everything that I can and much more. What modern day Christians would say to that? Oh, he was talking to the apostles. Well, what makes them any more special than you, right? Doesn't make any sense. Um, Secondly, you have Mark 4, where he talks about, I believe, the mustard seed on different soils, and then the apostles come to him in private, and he says, "I speak in parables for those who have eyes to see and ears to listen." Right? Right after the story of Cain and Abel, it says, all is but a allegory, right? It's not a physical or yeah, it's not a physical thing that is happening within the physical world. It's a metaphor for things. And you can see this countless times throughout the Bible where it says it's all parables, it's all allegories, it's all metaphors. And yet the church, right? Even if you look at the way the church or any religious institution for the most part is built off of, right? In the church you have deacons. Well, from what I know, deacons are astrological, like it's an astrological word. Deacons are smaller constellations that are within the main constellation of a zodiacal house, right? Then you have other stuff. It's right there, man. It's all right there. Look at the work of Giordano Bruno a bit.
I just grabbed it's the New Strong's Expanded Exhaustive Concordance of the Bible, red letter edition. Hebrew and Greek dictionaries expanded to over 600 pages. Every word of the Bible indexed, expanded with the best of Vine's dictionary of Old and New Testament words.
So let me see real quick if I have that one. Judaism, Jogan, Islam, Bible. When it comes to the Bible itself, I have the Companion Bible, the Heavenly Council, and the Tyndale Bible. When it comes to, let me see if I have a folder for Christianity itself. 1 second. Or
Yeah, if you
not
guys
on
wouldn't
my.
mind, can we get back on topic? I know we.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Pardon me for that, man. Thank you for allowing it for as long as you did.
Oh yeah, no problem. I was gonna let it go until we started talking about holy books, and I thought it was a good point to stop.
Yeah, we can what is it called? Move on or just not talk about the holy books. It's no worries.
Well, it all stems from flat Earth, man.
Yep. Isn't it funny how Christians say that? Like, oh, the Bible is the word of God, but yet they ignore the very first chapter of the Bible where it says that the earth is flat.
Yeah, that's why I got mad. Yep, because you can see it; it's so obvious. I can't believe I ever believed that it was a globe, man. It's outrageous. I say it probably once a month to my wife. How the hell did I ever believe that?
Yep. I feel you there. I even had a nice experience with my brother. He's younger than me for a couple years. One night, I was feeling a bit down in the dumps, right? And he goes up to me and says, "Bro, what the fuck's the matter with you, man? You're super smart. Like, I'm thankful to have you as my brother. If it wasn't for you, I'd be still thinking that we live on a fucking ball. So thank you for that. You're not dumb. You're super smart, you know." And that's it, man. People appreciate when they're told the truth. Again, they have to be willing to accept the truth, though.
Yeah, that's the one. It's you know, funny thing is with me, I'll just relate this back to a Bible verse. Jesus said, "A prophet is not without honor among his own people and in his own house." and I felt I really was able to relate to that a lot when I was trying to tell all my friends and some of my family about flat Earth, and like it's like because I felt like a prophet at that point, not like a prophet from God, but I felt like a prophet with like a message, news to share to let people know, the jig is up, and
Yep.
I figured it out. And it's so easy, it's so simple.
It's insanely simple. Truly is. That's again,
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Realize, bro. What am I supposed to say, right? That again. That's why if you don't have the eyes to see and ears to listen, everything falls onto deaf ears, right? It doesn't matter what anybody brings to you. If you're not willing and ready for it, it's not going to come to you.
Yeah.
But I do feel like we've entered a shift of some sorts where these types of topics, flat Earth, right, spirituality, everything else that is considered to be by normies dumb and stupid, it's becoming more and more of a talked upon topic, accepted by people. So I'm very positively. I have a positive mindset and view for what is to come.
Well, it's good to be positive. The movement is only growing; it's not shrinking.
Yep. Amen to that.
Which it's great because rooms like this where somebody can come in and be telling, "No, the Earth is round. The Earth is round," and like, yeah. You think we all weren't taught that shit, man? Like, give me a break. We know why you think the way you think. We were all conditioned. It's like it really is the Matrix.
It is. I had to actually remove a very, very close friend of mine. We've known each other for almost 10 years, right? And when I first, not first, right, but very shortly after I understood and came to the realization that we do live on a flat Earth, I instantly, nope, you're not going outside. Sorry about that, my cat. I came up to my friend like, yo, bro, you gotta look at this, right? The first thing he says, man, what is this retardedness? Come on. You're not that stupid, are you? didn't even want to entertain it. And I was like, yo, bro, if you consider me a friend and you value my intelligence, then actually think about this for a second. When he started with the ad hominem text, that's when I said, alrighty, man, this is where we part ways. I'm not doing this with you.
Yeah. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry that happened to you. And it happened to me too. I basically parted ways with a lot of my friends from school that were longtime friends through my adulthood. And it was about 8 years ago, maybe or so. And a three-way text conversation where I'm trying to deliver these points and do it, in a concise manner. And none of my points were being addressed. And all I was getting was ad hom. And, like if anybody knew the dumbest parts of me, it's those guys, right? Because we would act foolish as kids and do stupid stuff and, misbehave.
I get that.
So that's kind of, like, oh, well,
There goes my entire life of friendship.
What's that?
That's the whole, there goes my entire life of friendship with this person, right?
I mean, yeah, in a way, it was a three-way text conversation. There's, three of them, and yeah, I just got, totally dismissed and belittled, and told that I'm a fucking idiot and all this stuff, and that I didn't go to college, and they all did, and none of them
Yep.
know what the fuck science is, and none of them understand even the scientific method.
Yep.
None of them
When you ask them what are three constituents part of an experiment, they look at you like you asked them something in Arabic.
Yeah. We didn't even get to that. It was just simply like they claim science, but yeah, it's crazy. It's sad. It's the globe
It's like
mentality.
Isn't it like they
And-
invoke science like some kind of god, and they're like, "But science says this," and now they're preaching at you.
Yep. Even though science actually tells otherwise, right? As we have with the second law of thermodynamics, entropy.
Well, science can't say anything, but they personify science as though it's some kind of entity. Is all I was saying. Science doesn't say anything. It's a method of
true.
how to learn things.
Very true.
A method of developing and obtaining knowledge.
It's interesting though, and when I did my studying in dabbling in geology, I already knew that the old Earth proposals were bullshit. And radiocarbon dating and all that stuff, radiometric dating. I already knew all that was bullshit just from my like creation studies, and all these scientists geologists who have all this totally contradicting evidence that destroys the narrative, the spinning ball, space monkey evolution narrative. I mean, it's all one thing.
Yep. You're not wrong about that. I recently, 2-3 days ago, was watching a documentary in my native language, Bosnian, about the pyramids that we have in Bosnia, right? And I was pretty shocked. First, I didn't know that the pyramids that they've discovered. There are 4, I believe, pyramids. No, 6 pyramids, I believe. The biggest one is named the Pyramid of the Sun. Then you have the Pyramid of the Moon, Love, and something else. The Dragon, right? And the Pyramid of the Sun, you had over the last couple of years countless of archaeologists, geologists, you name it, right, come there. And all of them said the same thing. This is a pyramid and it's man-made. The what is it called? The quality of the cement that they used for these giant blocks, right? It is far superior than any cement that we can create nowadays. For moistness, if you will, in the cement, the average is like the top grade cement is like 60 or something, right? And for this from these blocks, it's like 134. They're insanely durable and last very long. They did several different types of, I guess you can call it like ancestry. I don't know the English word, but when you look at how old something is, it's either through biological means or other things, right? They send different samples everywhere around the world. And on the lowest scale, the Pyramid of the Sun is roughly 24,600 years old on the lowest scale. On the higher end, it's like 34,500 plus minus 600 years, right? Which is just mind blowing. And even before the excavations actually started, all the political figures in my country forbade the people to actually excavate this quote unquote hill, even though it's a pyramid. So it all just sounds the same, like the Göbekli Temple. Same thing. Oh, we're going to leave it for the next generations. Why? Because it makes sense.
That's pretty. That's pretty doggone old.
Yep. It predates everything by even the oldest structures we have is like what 5,000 years. So on the low end, it predates it by roughly 18,000 years, right? And on the high end, it's like 29. They even did EMF ratings, right, of the pyramid and the surroundings, and oh boy, one of the strongest, if not the strongest, EMF ratings that they've ever conducted on Earth. And they even have imagery that you can look up. So above the pyramid, it's vertical lines going upwards, and where around it, where the city is, it's all horizontal. It's really amazing, man. A lot of people from my country that have gone there, I don't know, have knee pain or arthritis or other things like that. They go there and like they're healed, bro. No more pain.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
yep, yep, it's insane. When I figured that out, so there was another story that I came across. I believe it was 2.5 years ago. A very very wealthy, like filthy rich couple, right? They went on this tour to South Africa, and there's a whole bunch of these like circles in the ground. Some are a bit different than others, but for the most part, they're all just like circular circles on the ground from stones and stuff. The wife of the couple, so she was diagnosed with cancer, right? And after the diagnosis, they went on this trip, right? They came back from the trip. She went back to the doctor to do another checkup. And the doctor just said, I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it. The cancer cells are receding, right? And turns out that these different like rock circles that they have actually vibrate at different frequencies, depending on what material and minerals are underneath the soil. And when I saw that, that was like, okay, this is something that I really need to look into. And then I started getting into frequency healing and semantics and stuff like that, and it truly goes deep, man. It's actually insane. They even have nowadays machines where you can type in for everything possible, right? You write in a certain code, and then a certain frequency is being emitted that you can then emit to help yourself heal, your body heal. It's truly shocking.
It is. Yeah, no, that's quite amazing, man. Sound. Yeah, sound is amazing for sure. There's there's all sorts of frequency hertz that do different things, supposedly. But
Yeah.
yeah, as far as the town you said that they went to or whatever up there with the pyramid and everything, there's there was a book that way back when Globebusters was good, like in the first year or two. So that'd be like 2015, 16. Bob Nodell had talked about a book that he had read. It was written by some doctor. It's called Pyramid Power. And yeah, the guy was doing all sorts of things with little pyramids. He would build little pyramids. The pyramids that worked the best and that had the most energy or collected the most energy or something were like had the steep. It had a steep peak. What was it, like 70 degrees or something like that? I want to say 70-degree top. And he, according to that book, like he could put, you know, like a dull razor blade in there, and in a day or two it would be like sharp again and stuff like that. It's weird, like freezing ice, like some weird ice freezing patterns and stuff.
Oh yeah, I've done that actually. That is beautiful to see that work when you actually do it yourself. I know what you're talking about. Yep, that's amazing. What is the book called again?
Pyramid Power.
Pyramid Power. Oh, okay. I'll definitely have to put that on my to read.
Yeah, I'm sure it's been like 8 or 9 years since I heard him talk about it, but I remember listening to that episode a few different times and just trying to take in his point, and then doing other research. Like, there's people that have hooked up water hoses to like speakers, and they'll change the hertz on the speaker frequency, and the water will come out of the hose all different ways. And you've got, I'm sure you've seen some of this before. There's a really good YouTube channel that actually displayed a lot of really neat things. I don't recall what it was, but like they had like sand on a table, and then they've done different frequencies, and it goes to different patterns, and there's like a certain ordering.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's with the sound thing. That's called semantics, which is the study of sound for different mediums.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna send you a lot of books, bro.
But yeah, as far as the there's one thing I was looking into too. People are claiming that when you wrap wire like copper around a stick and stick it into the ground, and or you have it attached to the stick, you stick it into the ground in your garden, and you get a few of them in your garden, and then it like electrifies the soil or something. I'm not really sure. I just saw a couple things about it. I'm like, whoa, I got to check this out. This is interesting because it stands to reason that it could be really beneficial. You basically create this electromagnetic uh, field around your
Yep.
crops.
Give me 1 second, please. Please. So that what you're referring to is electroculture. I did that not this year, 2023. I did it in my own garden. I had a garden for like 2-3 years prior to that, and the year prior to that, I forgot to take care of my mint that I planted and other like seasonings and herbs, right? And the mint was completely dead. Well, after winter and stuff, like black, brown, just the roots, nothing else, right?
Yeah.
So I ended up doing that with the copper wire. I believe, if I remember correctly, if you're in the north hemisphere, you have to go clockwise, and if you're in the southern hemisphere, you have to go counterclockwise with the wiring. And just put it into the pot with the mint. Within 3 days, 3 to 5 days maximum, the results were insane. So fully green, growing with leaves, everything, man. Within like 3 to 5 days, and it was dead.
Wow.
Yep.
I got to do my seed start here, and I was thinking
Yep.
about doing that with the seed starts.
You should,
It's like
man.
it's a wire.
Definitely. I had to actually remove it from my main garden that's under my window. Just due to all the insects coming, bro. Like, it's insane. They're attracted to it. I even had a giant, I kid you not, the size, maybe even bigger than the size of my fist, a scarab beetle, slamming into my window several times, trying to come in, and that's never happened to me. As soon as I placed this stick with copper wiring inside the earth, all of a sudden nature just wants to come there. Everything is attracted to it.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Well, hopefully not aphids. I had a bad aphid infestation years back.
I've never had that, so I don't know. Sucks to be you for that, man. I'm sorry that happened.
It comes from having a nitrogen-rich soil.
Mhm.
So there's a term, I'm going to butcher it, but it's like horticulture or something like that. It's a German word, and it's essentially like a way to create fantastic soil using cardboard, grass clippings, bark and sticks, like mulch and stuff like that, and having dirt on top of it. You put basically a garden bed on top of it, and then over time it turns into lush soil because all those things break down.
Mm-hmm.
But my nitrogen layer, my layer of grass clippings was too much, I think, because my Brussels sprouts were just totally infested, like unsavable.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't have a green thumb though either. I kind of suck at gardening because I don't put the time in. I'll get it going and then don't put the time in. So
Yeah, that's
gets you busy.
I'll say this as well. So if you have copper wiring, do you have any like thin, small copper poles? I don't know, like a couple inches long.
I do. Yeah, I have. I have copper pipe. I think I've got like half-inch copper pipe.
All right, perfect. If you can make the frame, right, the framework of a copper pyramid, so just the outlines of it, the square, and then the triangle or pyramid on top, right? What you can do is just put it on the table that you don't use or stuff, and put any type of fruit you want or vegetable there, and put another exact same fruit or vegetable besides it. And you're going to notice that the fruit or vegetable that is inside the pyramid itself is going to stay fresh and good for for a large time, like far more than the one that doesn't have the pyramid above it.
Right. You're saying have it above it?
My cat is being insane. He's attacking me for no reason. So sorry for yelling.
Oh no, it didn't even come through.
Oh, good.
Your mic must have clipped it or something.
Perfect. Alrighty. Continue.
Oh yeah, my cat attacked my toe. I think it was this morning, like straight in. right in the tip of my big toe. Oh, it woke me up. I woke up screaming, dude. Cats are vicious.
Yeah, they are. They're adorable, and I wouldn't even keep this cat in the house. I would keep him in the winter garden or outside because it's not actually very healthy for you to have animals in your house, especially with cats. Their microbiomes and the bacteria they have there is very dangerous to especially women and children, but also men. A lot of women that have like insanely strong menstrual cycle pain. If you ask them, they probably had contact with a cat for an extended period of time in their lives.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, my ex-girlfriend, her pain. I've never seen a woman have so much pain in her life. Like truly, it's I can't even describe it, man. She's not able to do anything for the first 2 days, and lo and behold, her whole entire childhood she had a cat. Like, hey, I told her, like, if you just detox and just don't have a cat around you, you can play with it, feed it, but not in the house. It's gonna be better for you. No, no, that's bullshit. Okay, keep enjoying your pain. It's like, what am I supposed to do, right?
Yeah, I can't. That wouldn't go over well with me either, or for me. Yeah, my
I
wife
get
is
it.
a cat person for sure. I am too. I like cats.
I never was. I was more of a dog person, but in the last couple of well, ever since I met this little bugger, so maybe even like a year now, I've gotten very attached, especially to this little guy. Even though he meows constantly for food, nothing else drives him in life but food. Um, they have a lot of spiritual benefits to them, right? And there's a reason why they were considered to be holy and powerful in many countries and societies.
Yeah, I think they're one of the only animals that kills for fun, though, aren't they? Felines.
Uh, yes, and not only that, but why the reason why they call man's best friend a dog is because a dog can go several days without eating, right? And it won't turn on its owner. But a cat, if you don't feed it within 24 hours, it's gonna rip your head off while you're sleeping and eat you, bro.
Actually, yeah, cats. Cats are known to, if you die and they're out of food, they will eat you like immediately.
Yep.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
Like if you
Yep.
were to die, yeah, cat will eat your ass.
Not just if you die. If you don't feed him for 24 hours, bro, roughly, he's gonna get. You're not gonna see a kitty cat anymore. You're gonna see a fucking tiger, right? It's like it is what it is, man.